From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special Halloween presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. First down, Justin Herbert.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Patrick Queen
in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
I think most...
Oh, they're on him too quickly back there, and it's blocked. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. Three touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he's probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
On second down, it's Lindsay. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
On the tackle. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsay. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff to Ingram. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Tackled at the 46-yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
There he is, Guys.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They go play action now. Jackson. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. That's good for a Raven 1st down. 15 yards there.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll run for the 1st time with J.K. Dobbins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all...
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
The ball carrier.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long.
3rd and 11.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignment...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. When he went on the move there and started to roll it out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. Hunter Henry brings it in. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
To Hunter Henry.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
At the 39-yard line.
Herbert off of play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Ferguson. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
It's 3rd down.
3rd and long. It's Herbert. And the pressure gets to him again. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Hardman to return. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Justin Tucker lining up.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. That's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return.
The Charger drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age of...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Herbert down on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On is the Chargers punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Hardman on the return. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Pick up a 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
On second down now, Dobbins. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Baltimore Raven. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Play action. Now Jackson eluding the pressure right. He'll try, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Chargers, nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields this way up at the 17. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
L.A. set to take over again on offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Look at for Allen. He's got him on the slam. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. On first down, it's Herbert. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
It's second down.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Allen has it, left side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for L.A. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff for Lindsey. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
They're going with Lindsey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Atkins on the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Jackson. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
incomplete.
So good coverage there defensively, as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turn their ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. And he'll throw right away. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chuck Clark in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Room here to run. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Check.
Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Lamar sacked at the 10. Devon Hamilton able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 22-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0.
Ravens 19. Chargers.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10.
L.A. readies for its next possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
25 yards that time.
It's a gain of 20.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Herbert on first down now. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
A 28-yard gain.
That's good for 28 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Nothing.
On first and 10, Herbert. Right side complete. That's Woods.
Complete.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And the Chargers.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Joe Hayden from his quarterback position on the sack that time.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. A field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on fourth down. They'll try and run with Murray. Shedding the tackle. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now first and goal. Well, they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Now they'll run. Murray. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown.
Complete.
Keenan Allen. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Mark Ingram.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 33-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Off the play fake. Jackson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no return here for Reed. This will be a touchback.
At their own 25.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert. It's complete. Henry. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
First down, Chargers.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Joe Reed, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. So they lost yardage and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And that will be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Los Angeles.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Herbert back to the air. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Herbert. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right?